look at the tail of the tape.
Meregali, 2 inches taller, just a couple of years younger, and now ready to get things underway. So, in the blue and white is Meregali, in the all black is Arnaldo Maidana, and let's just set this straight right now. We have no idea what to expect from Meregali. We have literally no idea because he only started training no-gi about 3 months ago, Chase.
Yeah, before that was something he never focused on wrestling, leg locks, any of the modern no-gi game. But he certainly found himself the right team to train with to get up to speed on a short order, Hal.
Relocated to Austin, Texas, the new jiu-jitsu hotbed, and linked up with, well, the powerhouse team of John Danaher's New Wave Jiu-Jitsu, training daily under the supervision of Danaher alongside Gordon Ryan and the rest of the team there. And Meregali definitely chose a very good team to align himself with to make this no-gi debut. But Arnaldo comes from one of the very best teams in the world, Checkmat. Make no mistake, these guys have been pumping out champion grapplers for many years. They have a very deep roster, and their no-gi credentials run deep.
100%, and we heard from people in the Checkmat camp that Maidana was training hard with characters like Luke Rockhold was brought in. We saw him training with Luis Panza. You know, some of the powerhouses of the sport were getting him ready specifically for this match. And there's definitely a little bit more on the line than just a W for Maidana here. Checkmat is no big fan of Meregali, Hal.
Oh yeah, they have history. They have history for sure. But Maidana is a very interesting choice for your first ever opponent for a no-gi match, because Meregali was presented with various offers, and none of them were easy. And the opponent that was settled on, Arnaldo Maidana, is a no-gi world champion. This man has real no-gi credentials. He's an American Nationals champion. Coached by Leo Vieira and with Lucas Leite in his corner here tonight. Tezos, who's number one. Maidana seems to be very patient in this match, I would say. He's really feeling out. He wants to see what Meregali's got, right? He's probably as interested as the rest of us.
100%. Some nice looks at a foot sweep a couple times from Maidana. And Meregali, from the training sessions that we've seen and filmed, quick stop here for an eye poke, accidental. Meregali's caught up quickly in the wrestling game. You know, maybe he's not the most offensive wrestler, but being able to remain standing is, of course, critical to be able to even compete in that format. A referee is going to ask for a bit more action here from both athletes. Of course, as much as we're interested in the full skill set of grappling, ultimately we're looking for the submission. That's going to be on the ground most of the time. Yeah.
Submission grappling generally takes place on the ground.
Occasionally, you will see something flashy, but...
Yeah. But we need to see this go to the mat. And there, now we see Meregali picking up a single leg. Can he put Maidana down? Solid balance here in this single leg position for Maidana. Looks very solid on that supporting leg. I have never seen, in his gi career, I have never even seen Meregali go for a traditional wrestling takedown. I've only ever seen him pull guard or go for a collar drag. And then you look at his guard game and his gi game, and it was always so focused on gi grips. The collar sleeve, the lasso. Even when he passed, he would use the pant grips to pass. And these are all tools that have been removed, been taken away from him here in the no-gi arena. So, is 3 months enough time to adapt? Is it time to relearn all those tricks that you've used for your entire career? I'm not so sure. We'll find out tonight. Okay, so referee Gabriel Martins has issued a penalty because he considers that Arnaldo has not initiated any attacks or enough to warrant going unpunished. And you're looking at it, I'm seeing Meregali is stalking forward, trying to pick up the legs, and we haven't seen any takedown attempts yet, apart from those earlier foot sweeps from Maidana.
That's fair. You know, Meregali is committed. He's picked up a leg twice now. Maidana maybe looking to counter a little bit too much. waiting for Nicholas to do something first. And wrestling, that can lead to some very boring matches. So there's a little more commitment from Maidana saying, all right, you want to see a show? Just happened to miss that one.
So we are coming into the end of the first 5 minutes. We get the judges' favor and hear what they have to say. I believe it is split at this stage, actually. So 2-1 favoring Nicholas Meregali at this stage in the match. And we're 5 minutes into this match, Chase. We still haven't seen it go to the mat.
But we have seen this. Nicholas Meregali committing to a shot and Maidana defending successfully, but still, is Meregali pushing the pace at the moment. And I think Maidana is really being very cautious at the moment, which may pay off, right? A single takedown could be what he needs to really go ahead in the score, and that's what he's counting on happening. But as of now, Meregali's pacing is having him lead in our judges' scorecards.
I feel like I'm identifying Maidana's strategy at this stage now. He's hoping that Meregali will commit to a takedown, and he's hoping to snatch a neck in the process. He's not going forward. He's not even sprawling, but he is hand-fighting effectively, almost allowing Meregali to get that single, and then looking to maybe catch a neck in the process. What are we going to see here? This is a better grip here. But Arnaldo has grips, but he does nothing. He does nothing. He backs out. He's on his heels, going backwards again. We need to see some action here from Maidana because the judges' favor has gone to Meregali. We still haven't seen any jiu-jitsu. We still haven't seen any mat work as yet.
One thing that's interesting to know is Meregali doesn't look too tired at the moment. And when learning a new skill set and putting it in action on such a high stage, that could be more taxing than normal, right? I mean, really test your cardio. And so far, Meregali's held up in a very new skill set.
My question is, at what stage does Maidana put his foot on the gas pedal? Because he knows you cannot win a match purely by defensive tactics. He knows that you have to attack. He knows that you have to make a statement to the judges in order to win, based on our scoring criteria here at Who's Number One. But at what stage does he do that? Oh, now we see them drop to the mat there. The hips finally hit the mat. But again, Maidana is backing out, and
that was nearly a counter by Maidana, but it was Meregali's hips that saved him, turning the counter into his own fortune. But they're back on their feet in any case. No real position solidified there. Meregali again in on a single, trying to figure out the final formula here to get this thing onto the mat.
There it is. He's had the head down briefly. Looked like he had the hand under the chin, but second penalty looks like is being issued against Maidana, or is this a warning here? Let's see exactly. Okay, a warning now. Don't forget, you get 2 penalties. The third is a DQ.
That was not a penalty, though.
That was just a warning.
Just to be very clear.
But right now, Maidana still has 1 penalty against him.
Well, that's definitely not how we would like this match to end. Meregali again collects a leg. Maidana, though, more than happy, it seems, to play this game.
He finally gets Maidana down to the mat. And Meregali immediately passing the guard. Looking to establish top control, may take the back in this transition. Side control with a deep crossface. Nicholas Meregali controlling the hips. This is where he wants to be.
Yeah, he couldn't be more excited, I think, to get this thing down on the ground. A way to do it emphatically, right? Maidana nearly was able to scramble away from that takedown, and Meregali said absolutely not, pushes him down. Lands in a very advantageous position here.
I mean, it was past the halfway mark in the match before Meregali was able to wear down Maidana, and to score this takedown. And it wasn't really a clean wrestling takedown. What did he do? It was a case of just catching the legs. He was working, and then in the transition, there was the footwork, the stumble, and he simply ran him down to the mat. Hey, but that still counts. It's not a perfect clinical wrestling technique, but it doesn't matter when you're in side control and he's smashing his opponent and he's looking to try and isolate some arms and go for the attack.
Well, we're not looking for points here. It doesn't matter if that was score or not. Meregali made the match hit the mats and landed in side control. You know, definitive, decisive moment. Maidana looking to wrestle up here. Nearly gets it. Meregali scrambles.
On the neck is Maidana. That was an interesting exchange. I thought that Maidana finally had the grip that he's been looking for all along. And yeah, judges favor Nicholas Meregali in the second phase of the match. We're into the final 5 minutes now, but that second 5 minutes was a lot different than the first, Chase.
Yes, and it really makes things interesting now as Maidana knows he's behind. There's no doubt that that exchange there with Meregali landing in side control puts things in his favor, and Maidana needs a significant amount of offense here to turn the tides. So let's see what he has in store now. He cannot just counter, or if it does, he's got to fully get that thing sunk in.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, Chase. Is that the fact is that Maidana is so far behind now in terms of the criteria. He has conceded a takedown. He has conceded control position. He has had Meregali on top and in control. If he hopes to win this match, yes, of course, there is always the opportunity to catch a submission, but he should be looking to aggressively answer back to everything that Meregali has thrown at him so far.
And Meregali really weighing down the back of the neck, pulling down the head of Maidana, trying to make him as tired, as exhausted as possible, maybe force another mistake. Maidana trying to shut things off. He's still got plenty of offense left, but he needs to make it count here.
There's another single from Meregali.
Yeah, unwilling to commit to the double, right? That may be the handoff that Maidana is anticipating, looking for that neck. Meregali happy to stay chasing singles. 3.5 minutes left. Meregali still continuing to drive forward, pulling the neck. Maidana shucks. And I will say, for an athlete who has never wrestled, Meregali seems to have taken a liking to the stand-up game. Maidana in on a shot now.
We've finally seen a takedown attempt from Maidana, but look at the way that Meregali was able to push down on Maidana's head and kill that takedown without even really having to sprawl.
Yeah, Maidana looking a little tired. Meregali definitely fading as well, but to be expected. 2 minutes left in this 15-minute match. Let's see if they have room for one more key exchange here in the tank.
Oh, yeah, you can see the fatigue is definitely a factor for both these athletes now at this stage. They are, it's like wading through water. They are, well, I mean, you can see that unsteady on his feet is Maidana, and I think that Meregali has sensed that, because going forward a little further now. Second penalty against Arnaldo Maidana with around about 90 seconds left. You could see him dejectedly, hands on his knees, bow his head. I think that fatigue is 100% a factor, but he cannot let himself go out like this. There's a shot, though.
Nice penetration from Maidana. Let's see if he's got enough left to finish it here. Meregali looking pretty comfortable on one leg for the moment. Maidana taking his time. He knows this is a key opportunity for himself here.
Will we see Arnaldo run the pipe? Will we see him use his head to drive them down? He goes for the double, but look at that exchange.
Oh, nice sprawl from Nicholas Meregali. Reverses the position, lands inside control.
He's got 40 seconds left, and he is on the attack. Meregali looking for the Kimura, looking for the armbar. Can he get the submission? Yes, he does. With only 31 seconds remaining in the match, Nicholas Meregali finishes his first ever no-gi match via submission.
And man, the way he set that up from the sprawl, what a showing.
And your winner, representing New Wave Jiu-Jitsu, Nicholas Meregali.
Well, that was a war of attrition, Chase, because only in the final 60 seconds of that 15-minute match was Meregali finally able to find the opening, and I feel like it was a case of Maidana broke physically. He was so fatigued, he was unable to defend in that final exchange, and Meregali saved just enough in the gas tank to get the finish. But this is some of the earlier moments from this match, which was characterized primarily by wrestling.
Yeah, we entered this match with a lot of questions about what Meregali may have in store for Maidana, what his wrestling would look like, and how his game would translate to no-gi in general. And man, he showed off tonight. Really, really looked great. Wrestling was there when it needed it to be. And here's this key exchange here in the final moments of the match. The sprawl of a great shot from Maidana, setting up the reversal into the submission. Definitely can't wait to hear what Meregali has to say about this match. He's looking a little short of breath, but we're going to hear from our winner here.
Nicholas Meregali, welcome to the world of no-gi jiu-jitsu. Your first ever no-gi match here at Who's Number One, and you win via submission. That's what you wanted, right?
I'd like to apologize at first for didn't hit in Gordon for the bullshit fight. I was trying some new skill about work on the feet. Was hard. Sorry, guys. Sorry for that kind of fight without too much position on the line, but it was what I got, and let's step forward in this world, try to represent better my team and also this sport, no-gi.
Apologizing for winning via submission in your first ever no-gi match. Not necessary, Nicholas, because that was no easy match. You went up against a black belt no-gi world champion in your first no-gi match, and you were able to find the submission in the last minute, but that was not easy. He was a tough guy, and tell me about that match. That was a tough technical match for you.
Yeah, sure. My plan was try to replicate what I have been learning at the gym, this kind of work on the feet, wrestling. I feel that my position is not so tight yet. My single leg is terrible. I try get the body lock, but I wasn't able. And my plan was just that: try to work on the feet, put my opponent down, and then try some passing guard, back take, mount. But the plan doesn't work as I was expecting.
So let's make this clear for those who don't know. You're a two-time black belt world champion, but
sorry, I'm four.
Officially speaking, two-time black belt world champion, but you only started training no-gi 3 months ago. Is that correct?
Not 3, 7 weeks ago, actually.
7 weeks ago. So you never competed no-gi. You never even trained no-gi in your entire career.
No, I just started February, and I don't know if it was a bad decision that I had like a couple years ago, but everything happened in the right time, and this is the perfect moment to start my no-gi career. We have HCC coming up. I know that I have an insane plan to be double gold at HCC. It's not an easy path. I have too much to learn and also improve on my game, but there's a dream. So, and this is which pushes me forward to work every day with passion, love, and making the life excited, and also always put some show to the crowd.
Nicholas Meregali, we are very happy to be able to feature you here, Who's Number One, to be able to feature your first no-gi match and to see a submission in the process. Congratulations for your winner here tonight, Meregali.
Thank you, man. Thank you, people for coming and then cheer for me. I'm really appreciating that kind of support all the American fans are putting on me. I'm representing the sport. I have some like intense personality. Some people hate me, some people love me, but I'm just like doing my best to give to all you guys on the crowd the best show I can. Thank you very much. What's up?
Very intriguing character. Gabriel Martins is ready to get things underway here. Fight. In the all black, the long sleeves is Meregali, the Brazilian, now based here, training with New Wave Jiu-Jitsu in Austin, Texas. With a short sleeve colored rash guard on is Braulio Grout, hailing from San Diego, where he also trains with Legion American Jiu-Jitsu, a team founded by Kanan Cornelius.
Yeah, there's a man who has some experience with Nicholas Meregali. One of the most exciting matches we ever saw at the IBJJF World Championships took place between those two athletes. I'm sure he had some input on maybe Meregali's mindset, let's say, if not his no-gi game.
Now, Who's Next viewers would have seen Braulio Grout, albeit rather briefly, on the very first episode of the show, because he was eliminated by Big Dan Manasoyu in that first round of matches in the fastest match of the entire season. He basically lost in the 30 seconds to a leg lock, but, well, I mean, this match has already gone longer than that, but that's not Meregali's style, is it, Chase?
No, you know, he never really favored the legs and the gi. You have to think he's become more and more competent as he spends time with the New Wave team with John and Gordon, but clearly definitely looking ahead to ADCC by focusing on his wrestling. We're seeing more of that tonight. Not shocked at that. It's all about getting time on the mat, and nothing's more valuable than actual competition time, putting those skills into place. You see Braulio, though, is on the single here.
Yeah, we've seen some single leg defense here from Meregali, and does a good job in maintaining his balance throughout that sequence. Now, here's the question. When it comes to the ways to victory for both of these competitors, Meregali won his first ever no-gi match earlier this year against Arnaldo Maidana by way of armbar very, very late into that 15-minute match. We see there from Braulio Grout, we've seen him in action in, let's say, IBJJF points tournaments. We've seen him in action at No-Gi Worlds and multiple other tournaments. Nice takedown there from Meregali from the single leg. Very different finish there to that of Grout's attempt earlier. And immediately into a passing position is Meregali.
Yeah, what a nice finish to that takedown, right where he wants to be, pouring on the pressure from top here. Fantastic opening moments here from Nicholas Meregali, looking maybe to peek around to the back or just finish the pass. Almost a chance for the black hole if he shoots that left leg around.
I'm seeing triangle.
Yeah, there is a triangle. Yeah.
I'm seeing a triangle either from front or from the back, because that position, that deep underhook that Meregali has, he could well escape that leg from inside the half guard, run around to the top and finish with one of those triangles from the back. But Braulio Grout seems to have removed that immediate threat and is now in a position to possibly scoop a leg for an attack of his own from this Z-guard position.
Yeah, great work from Braulio there. Things were looking a little bit tenuous for him, but now he's on the attack here from bottom.
Oh, he's throwing the leg up. He's into this kind of single leg X position. You can see that Meregali is addressing it by trying to remove the foot from the hip. He doesn't want to get deeply entangled with the legs. Trying to high step, back step his way out of it. Goes over the top. And that somewhat answers the question of how Meregali handles the leg attacks.
Yeah, and wasting no time going right back into his passing sequences here. Nice
Double
attempt from
underhooks
Braulio, but Meregali turning up the pace now here.
Oh, very close to moving into the mount now. He has double underhooks This looks like watching Gordon Ryan pass the guard. The way that he has those elbows so far separated away from Braulio Grout's torso, and he's moving high now with this mount. This is a very dominant position indeed, and we are not even 4 minutes into the match.
We've heard they're working on smothering submissions there from this kind of chest-to-face position with both arms collected. That looks horrible.
Well, we saw how much pressure
yeah.
Gordon Ryan generated in his match against Jacob Couch earlier this year, that he was able to get a finish from a very similar position. And Meregali seems to be, well, if there's any example that you should follow when it comes to no-gi grappling, Gordon Ryan is a very good example to follow, technically speaking. And Meregali is, wow, just the technicalities on the mat right now, the resemblance is striking.
Yeah, and even if you don't get the finish here, you set up all kinds of options, like the arm, for example, which Meregali has opted to perhaps drop off for.
Gone high now into S-mount kind of territory. Braulio Grout, you can see him trying to bump using his legs. He's got a deep rear naked style grip of the arms, which was protecting him, and he finds his way out, but not completely out of danger. Meregali is straight back into this knee cut style passing position. But there is an escape from Braulio Grout, who is back to his feet. Well, let's see what the judge's favor has to say.
Well, I think we know where that's going, but great work from Braulio to make things back all even now. Neutral position and on a single leg. But it's Meregali here finishing on top.
Yeah, that is definitely not a surprise. Judge's favor Meregali in that opening stanza of the 15-minute match. Of course, these are not rounds or points. They are simply an indication of where the judges, where their opinion lies as we move through these matches. But yeah, we can. It doesn't take a grappling expert to understand why Meregali was given the judge's favor here in this match so far.
No, but this match has been a real treat to watch so far. We're seeing a lot more of Meregali's game, no-gi game. Braulio has also had some moments, so this has definitely been much more action than we saw in Meregali's first route here.
Oh, now we see this is possible triangle territory. You can see that it's almost like a deep half, but the elbow's been compromised so much. Oh, and now you see that Meregali is cycling through various grips. And I feel like he's almost testing out some positions here, but he can't afford to leave his leg lying around too long in these kind of positions. If Braulio Grout was able to kind of get a little bit of elevation under that leg entangle could be trouble, but right now the smash pass position is good for Meregali. Oh, look at that again, moving over the legs into the mount. Just complete positional control. Such a different match compared to Nicholas Meregali's first no-gi match earlier this year, which was almost entirely played out on the feet as a wrestling match. We've got a much better glimpse into what Nicholas Meregali's no-gi grappling game looks like on the mat.
That's right. And now he's collecting just the one arm, maybe thinking of a head and arm choke here. Now back to two. Again, forcing the smother. And this has to be wearing on Braulio, zapping his energy, just making life difficult.
Those elbows are so high. Meregali has used that control position more than once to advance his hips up higher and possibly look for an arm bar, but there's multiple attacks from here, right?
Absolutely. It really depends too on exactly how Braulio opts to defend. Right now, maybe he might actually end up going belly down, doing anything he can to get out of here, giving up his back. We saw Meregali drop off for the arm earlier. There's a head and arm choke. A lot basically can happen from here. Or Meregali can continue just to cook him until the moment presents itself, which we see here.
This could be it. This could be that moment, because now this is the exact same attacking position he went for earlier. Braulio's grip is really what's saving him in this position. His posture completely compromised. Meregali is in a very, very dominant position. He's going to look to pass his left leg over the head and to go for an arm lock, to hyperextend the left arm of Braulio Grout. But the slipperiness of the no-gi game. You can see that the grips were lost, and Meregali has now switched to the head and arm choke, aka the katagatami. And once again, there's an escape there from Grout. Good late submission defense in both cases. Oh, a possible leg attack here for Grout.
Nicholas's leg is kind of at a weird angle here, but he is in a safe position if he gets a little more comfortable. Now he's very happy. He can get a cross face and maybe can pass directly into the mount like he has been here.
Yeah, by keeping his hips on top of that right knee, it kind of kills a lot of the elevation that Grout is able to enact. And you can see Danaher is right there, quietly, calmly coaching Meregali through these positions. And Meregali once again moves into this mount, and I think that his intentions are clear, Chase. He's had the opportunity to finish in various ways. He seems intent on getting the arm in a specific manner. Again, looking to
red.
Yeah, judges favor red after that second 5 minutes. We're over 10 minutes into this match now, and Nicholas Meregali goes for his third armbar attack. Now this is better. He has the leg over the head. Let's see if he can actually hyperextend the arm. The grip of Braulio Grout, he's got a rear naked choke style grip that is saving him.
You can see him trying to pop the arm off there. Braulio's got an awesome grip, it looks like, though. Proving it throughout this match. Because gi or no gi, finishing an armbar is the same kind of technical.
Oh, he's out. Yeah, there's the same steps that you would apply in that escapes, in that situation, right? Whether it's gi or no gi, and Grout did the perfect technical defense to that submission attack.
Sorry, I caught up watching Braulio sort of work his way out of that.
Hypnotized by the jiu-jitsu techniques on display. There's a lot to learn here.
Now we see Nicholas on bottom for the first time in his no-gi career. I think he didn't spend much at all in the Maidana match, and now for the first time here in the Braulio match. Not for very long. Immediate sweep here, back to top. But I was curious what that might look like. And here we have Braulio maybe thinking about hunting for a leg.
Meregali seems calm as well in this position. I'm sure that one of the first things that he would have wanted upon joining forces with the New Wave team was to get a good grip of what those leg locks look like and what threats to be aware of. And he seems very comfortable in defending those positions. Right back into pressuring Grout. Out of danger though, here's a much deeper entanglement now, because Grout actually has the ankle lock grip around the base of the leg. Meregali calmly slides it out. We see a head hunting again is Nicholas Meregali. He's gone high, and he is once again looking for that arm triangle choke. There's a great angle of the submission attack.
Kick and pull, kick and pull. Kick him to your left. Open to your left. Get your knee underneath them. Braulio, recover.
I'm really impressed by Grout's resilience in the face of all of these submissions. It's a methodical performance from Meregali. I've lost count of the amount of submissions that he's been working on.
Yeah, great point. Meregali been dominant throughout, but Braulio executing a lot of technical escapes, doing just enough to stay safe for the remainder of this round, maybe. 2 minutes left.
Oh, there is a much better look at the arm triangle choke now. I think that's
That
a lot
looks good.
tighter.
That looks good.
Stop. There is the finish. There is the tap. In the 13th minute of the match, Nicholas Meregali gets his second no-gi submission in as many matches by way of arm triangle choke here on Who's Number One.
Yeah, outstanding showing from Nicholas Meregali. A lot of new tools we're seeing tonight. Lots of passing. We saw a quick sweep. Tons of submission attacks. A lot of mount control.
13 minutes and 11 seconds was the official time for a very happy Nicholas Meregali getting another submission win. He really is proud of his high finishing rate in both gi and now no gi, it seems.
Let's take a look at some of our best moments from this match. We saw some nice wrestling exchanges early, including this takedown from Meregali that ended up in a great passing position, which then led to this.
Looks like Meregali is some of a secret wrestler nowadays, utilizing these techniques with great efficiency.
Yeah, and he definitely had this on his mind throughout the entire match. We saw him go through several different armbar variations, but it was the head and arm at the end that did the trick. So impressive in itself that Braulio was able to do enough to defend those arm bars.
I think this is the match-ending submission right here, and I think what's very interesting to note is the way that Meregali, as we said, those mount positions, the mount position that he held in many different moments throughout this match, well, he had the choice of the submissions, right? He was able to kind of go after that armbar relentlessly, but ultimately it was the arm triangle
Look
that
at the
gave him
pressure
the win.
from that choke. Sorry to interrupt, but that was serious.
In 13 minutes, 11 seconds, your winner by submission via arm triangle, representing New Wave, Nicholas Meregali.
All smiles now for Nicholas Meregali, picking up his second career submission win. And in very impressive fashion, all that's left now is to take it away. Kendall Rusing with some words from our winner.
All right, congratulations, Nicholas Meregali. You have earned a 500 Tez coin here, and 500, yeah, 500.
Full inch. Meregali weighed in just 1 pound heavier, but the age and experience very clearly on Rafael Lovato Jr.'s side. It is now time for our co-main event. Our referee, Gabriel Martins, get things underway. And it is a go here, and Lovato channeling Leandro Low in a tribute to the great champion who passed away last night. Now, we've talked a lot about Meregali's developing no-gi skills. His first match against Arnaldo Maidana of Checkmat, the black belt world champion, Meregali wrestled with him for almost 13-14 minutes before submitting him with an arm belt. His last match against Braulio Grout just a couple of weeks ago in the Who's Next finale saw him display pretty much a carbon copy of Gordon Ryan's mount game. It was a clinic in top pressure. The real question is what game plan he has for an opponent as experienced and as well-rounded as Mr. Rafael Lovato Jr.
Well, he said he wanted to wrestle, and good thing we have a great wrestling analyst on our hands here with Kendall Rusing joining us in the booth. What do you expect from this battle on the feet here, Kendall?
Oh man, this is quite the person to try to wrestle Lovato, especially when you're talking about Nicholas Meregali's third match coming up, or third no-gi match. And it's also important to note that Lovato does a lot of wrestling in the universities in Oklahoma, right? So he's wrestling with these high-level college wrestlers consistently.
I heard they got some good wrestlers at Oklahoma.
Oh, just a little. Yes, you know, they're all right. Yeah, so he's up there wrestling. But then you also, you got to take into consideration, of course, Meregali, who he's training with very high-level people on the feet, like Gordon Ryan. So I think that it's a very smart strategy for Meregali to try to take Lovato down. As we know, nobody in a no-gi match with this kind of rule set wants to be under the pressure of Lovato.
That's what I'm kind of thinking here, is that we haven't seen anything of Nicholas Meregali's guard in his no-gi matches so far.
Exactly, one sweep. One sweep.
There you go.
That was it.
One sweep, but it was a fleeting moment. But,
yes.
but if there is a person to play bottom under, it is definitely not Rafael Lovato Jr. because his top game, very heavy. We know all about his kind of passing style system. He's so good at passing from what he calls like the headquarters position. But of course, in conversation with his teammates, Victor Hugo, also an ADCC competitor, IBJ black belt
big
world
body
champion.
lock here. Yeah,
Meregali aggressively going for the tie-up. He said you do not want to be under Lovato because he's also got that MMA pressure from top, and that's something considerable. But we see Meregali hit the takedown.
That is really impressive. I honestly did not expect Meregali to take down someone like Lovato. Given the experience, we know for a fact that Meregali practiced zero wrestling throughout his gi career. So we have just mere weeks on his hand where Lovato's been doing it for decades. So that really says something about the progress Meregali's been making here.
Yeah, that is a strong statement. I feel that even getting into a solid tie-up position like that with Lovato, more so, putting him down with that kind of attack is a real sign of the evolution of Meregali's game. And now we'll see this amazing passing game that he has from the top. His footwork, his passing. Can he get past those long legs of Rafael Lovato Jr. is the question.
I will say what's interesting too is that Lovato was initiating the tie-ups. He was going in for really nice underhooks. He was doing a really great job controlling the space, and Meregali was actually looking like he was on a bit of a back foot until he came in for that double underhook.
Uh-oh, look at this. Look at this, single leg X here from Rafael Lovato Jr. Great position from which to launch a variety of attacks.
Lovato looking to expose a heel here, but Meregali looking to counter that rolling back kick maybe.
That
stays on top.
Attempt, but Lovato still has an active half guard, stroke X guard here, and there is the footwork. Meregali was looking to try and use a kind of under overpass, try and run around to the side. And he's putting the pressure on Lovato's guard here.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Lovato's top game, but we can't forget he has such an excellent X guard, butterfly guard, really classic positions. But here we see an almost pass from Meregali coming chest to chest here.
He got it. He's got that leg free. He settled down, and this is a really good side control position here. He doesn't quite have Lovato flat on his back. Lovato is, he's got his one hip up, and he's got his elbows pretty close to his body. But the simple fact of getting there less than 4 minutes into this match. Whew.
This is a statement from Meregali. I mean, there's a lot of time left for Lovato to turn things around, but I think a lot of people who know just exactly who Lovato is would not have guessed this was going to be the opening 5 minutes of the match.
Hunting for the back is Meregali. Lovato manages to escape the hips.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have expected to see it pass so early, but I've seen multiple matches. We've all seen multiple matches where Lovato has come back from those kinds of deficits in the beginning and then continue to smash. But again, right into a nice pass is Nicholas Meregali. Big cross face, and he cuts right through.
Second time settling down into the side control now, and this is less than 5 minutes into this match, and Meregali is he's taking it up a gear here.
Yeah, the tempo is one-sided. You know, after the opening, feeling out process on the feet, Meregali is simply taken over here. Pretty incredible stuff to see.
Meregali driving forward, putting the pressure on. You can see that shoulder in the jaw. He's making Lovato turn away from him. Possibly an attempt to open up the back. We will get our judge's favor, and I think it's probably clear who it should be. Yeah, no surprise there. Lovato is doing his best to try and recover a half guard here. I like the way that Meregali is hiding his right foot.
Yeah, Meregali
places the knee back in the hip.
I was just going to say that, Howell. He does a great job of continuing to bring that right knee to the hip. Every time Lovato almost has a knee, a shin, or a foot inside for half butterfly, his knee is right back in that hip spot, which is an interesting thing from someone who is a gi guy coming to no gi. Sometimes that side control retention is a really difficult transition for people.
So far, not missing a beat as Nicholas Meregali switches to knee on belly, switches sides now. And just keeping that passing pressure here. Lovato looking a little bit unsure of his positioning now. Now getting into a better guard here, maybe thinking about throwing the reap.
Yeah, this is again reminiscent of that single leg X position that he used earlier, but I think that the way that Meregali had the awareness and which way to step out of it and backstep into a solid position, and there it is again. Meregali is able to turn out of it, and he's on the neck now.
Almost came up for a single leg X sweep there, but didn't get the sweep, but forced a front headlock position, which brought them back to the feet, which may be a better position for Lovato. Yeah, exactly.
Here you go, time left, here you go.
So now, if Lovato was on the wrong end of that takedown earlier, Kendall, how do you feel he's going to approach the wrestling this time around?
You know, I think that he's going to be a little more insistent, actually, on maintaining an underhook. I would say, like, Lovato is not really someone who gets nervous and backs out. He kind of decides, okay, this is what's working, this is what didn't, and then he goes in for more, right? In my experience watching him. So I think he's going to kind of try to reset these underhooks, these over ties he has with his left hand here. But he has to be careful because Nicholas' timing with swimming double underhooks is obviously proven to be very, very well done.
Yeah, I got to say, I'm so intrigued to see this rapid development of Nicholas Meregali, to go from zero no-gi experience. I'm talking February this year. Zero no-gi experience. He moves to Austin, Texas. takes a residence in one of the fastest growing jiu-jitsu cities in the world to train with Gordon Ryan and John Danaher. And the results that we're seeing here, I mean, it looks like a completely different athlete. And the ability to wrestle with a multiple-time world champion, a Bellator MMA world champion like Lovato Jr. is... I'm stunned, I'll be honest, because if I thought there was a game plan that Meregali would use to beat Lovato, he wouldn't go in head-to-head and beat him at his own game.
Yeah, it's interesting here. What Lovato has continued to do is he brings that left hand over the top and uses the outside of his hand where his pinky is to kind of punch in the throat as an overtie. And so now he has the inside position. And I like how Meregali's using these foot sweeps to kind of off-balance Lovato. I don't think he's looking necessarily for straight to the takedown, but potentially what we could see is another body lock here with that double under.
Same takedown, exactly the same takedown that he used earlier in the match. Nicholas Meregali once again puts down Rafael Lovato Jr. and is in a great position to start passing the guard once again.
I think if there is any questions, Nicholas Meregali's no-gi career is certainly for real, and the potential is limitless.
There were many question marks over this match. There were question marks about how Meregali would cope with somebody with Lovato's experience. There were question marks over the strategy that each athlete would use against their opponent, because so uncertain of how that would go. How would Lovato deal with Meregali, who just was something of a mystery? And how would Meregali go against the veteran? Well, the answers are right here. And we're seeing Meregali go forward, take down his opponent, put the pressure on from top, and put Lovato into some really bad positions.
And yet another strong recovery here from Lovato. Just like, as soon as you think Nicholas is going to be side control or mount, you know, we see another big extension from Lovato here.
And I think that's the experience coming through, right? The composure in these positions that others may be very uncomfortable. Lovato Jr. has spent decades in those positions, and he knows exactly the right moment to escape.
I don't think Lovato spent a lot of time here, though, in his career. I mean, look at Meregali is putting the pressure on him. This is kind of a pressure passing clinic, let's say. It's something that Lovato would like to be doing himself in this match.
It's very reminiscent of Lovato's style.
The passing position is Gordon Ryan 101, the float passing system. It's something that Lovato uses himself. You can see the foot hook, the shin on shin. He's looking to step over that top knee and go directly into the mount. And I think that he may almost be there. He seems to have what looks like a kind of a three-quarter mount. Hard to see if his left knee is on the mat. But this looks familiar, Chase.
Yeah, I think we spent some time here last match, Hal, if I remember correctly. Nicholas Meregali looking to isolate the choke here, head and arm choke. No surprise, by the way, to see the judges' favor continuing to be for Nicholas Meregali.
He's in the mount now. He's got the leg free, and I think may even go to the back. It's hard to see. Lovato is kind of on his side, not really mount, not really back, kind of a side.
Well, that is the nice thing about this position. When you have the head and arm, if your partner rotates, it turns into a seatbelt grip, right? So you can use the head and arm connection to either go to the mount, just like we're seeing, switch back into knee on stomach control.
He's going for the arm triangle. He's going for the katakatami now. This is getting tighter, and Lovato has to go belly down to defend it.
Back, in fight.
And then if loses the arm triangle, opens up the back or the mount again, right? So that head and arm control is really, really a game changer here.
Look at that half Nelson as well that Meregali has got, possibly to try and put Lovato back on the mat, but aggressive hand fighting here. Lovato is in full-on survival mode in this position.
Start to recover from mount. Start to recover from mount, yes. Elbow down and start to recover from
But that's key. I mean, I remember reading the Six Blades philosophy many years ago in Slavo Ribeiro's books. Jiu-Jitsu University, of course, you know, Lovato's had a lot of experience training with Salo and Shanji Ribeiro in his career, and two great mentors and teachers of his. And one of the greatest tenets in their school and their system is, of course, you know, the ability to survive, to escape, and to counterattack. And Lovato, right now, is surviving. Meregali.
Yeah, Lovato does a good job of not letting his arms get too separated from his head, right? We see him keep his elbows in tight. So even when there is this wrist control, and now, even though his elbows were tight, we do see some back exposure here, but not quite into the back. and is able to kind of save himself from going to that back position. Still has a quarter guard, right? Or wearing, quarter guard, quarter mount, so able to stay a little bit safe here. But I think we're going to see Meregali go back to this head and arm control if he can, because again, opens up the mount, opens up the pass, and opens up the arm triangle and the seatbelt grip, right? Once you can isolate that, you can really, really control your partner wherever they go, kind of back them into a corner and make them choose something that no matter where they go, it's going to end up in your favor, just like we're seeing here.
Meregali looks to be committing to the choke again.
See the pressure on Lovato's face here. That arm triangle choke is getting somewhat tighter. If he can pass his left knee that is currently trapped over into the mount or off to the side like this now, this could be it. But Lovato Jr. manages to turn, exposes the back, but at least the arm triangle is no longer on.
They are on the edge of the mat too, so they're going to have to be careful here with the reset. We're going to see a reset back to the center of the mat with the same position.
That was perfectly timed reset by our referee, Gabriel Martins. Right on the edge of the mats, outside the safety area.
Nicholas Meregali kind of touching his own wrist rather gingerly there. May have put a little too much pressure on it as he was hunting for the choke, but I think he'll be able to push through. Lovato has 2 minutes left here to see if he can make something happen, at least survive the danger.
As they kind of return to the same position they were in on the edge of the mat. The referee will give Lovato Jr. the opportunity to get his grips to defend. And there is still over 2 minutes remaining in this match, so there's plenty of time for Meregali to work from here.
Back on the mat.
Oh, going high. He's managed to trap one arm. This really compromises Lovato's defenses here. Arm is going around the neck. Lovato gets it back in, and those long legs of Meregali so useful for the body triangle.
Even hand fight. For him, it's comfortable there. I need one shot to recover. You go, try to put your back.
Oh, there it is again. Meregali has
you go, shoot.
one of the arms with his foot. Aggressively searching to get that hand underneath the chin. Let's not forget the fact that in 2 matches in no gi, Nicholas Meregali has a 100% submission rate.
Yeah, and he's looking to keep that tonight. Aggressively hunting the rear naked choke here, making things a little nasty on top. Sometimes you got to do that. Let's not forget that the New Wave team and John Dana have really also systematized hand fighting. It's a priority for their team. Is when you secure this position, you don't want to do it again, right? You want to get the finish. So he's got 1 minute left. Lovato doing a great job of remaining as safe as possible here. Let's see if Meregali can pull it off.
Oh, he uses that power half again, right out of Gordon Ryan's playbook to get the turnover, and he's still working on that neck. And I think that as we're in this last 40 seconds or so of the match, it may be difficult for Meregali to find that finish, but not impossible. There's still time to work.
Hip escape, frame and shield. Yes, put your frame to work.
Pressure from Meregali now in this half guard position. He's going to get one last pass in the last 10 seconds of the match. Now really that momentum just completely in his favor.
That's good, my friend. Good job.
And Meregali actually relieves the pressure as the clock runs down. What an incredible performance. That really was a masterclass in no-gi technique from Nicholas Meregali against one of the very best to do it. A clash of generations, yes, but just a real showcase of jiu-jitsu skill and technique.
Yeah, I'm a little bit in awe of what we just witnessed here. We knew Meregali's potential was limitless, achieved so many things in the gi, but it looks like that's going to be the same story here in the other discipline. Let's look at some of the best moments from this matchup here. Meregali entered with a lot of confidence.
I loved the fact that Lovato paid tribute to Leandro Lo at the very beginning of the match. But as we see here, the takedown from Meregali, it was the same takedown used twice. Was able to defend all of the leg entanglements. Was actually using them well to counter-attack as well. I thought that was notable.
Yeah, and the fact that Lovato was able to get back to the feet, get back to the positions where we thought he may have some advantage, and Meregali to do the same thing twice, astounding, right? And then we see the rest of the match played out from there with Meregali working from top. That's a tough one for Lovato here.
We're going to bring the athletes back into the center so we can have our official announcements. I think it is a formality. I think it's very, very clear. But as we see a nice show of respect there from Rafael Lovato Jr. and Nicholas Meregali.
And we have a unanimous decision. Our judges have tallied your winner from New Wave, Nicholas Meregali.
A perfect 3-0 record here at Who's Number One is Nicholas Meregali.
Gentlemen, this next match is our main event, and it is a no-gi main event. Let's go! Fighting out of the blue corner, training right here in Austin, Texas, representing New Wave, Nicholas Meregali.
Nicholas Meregali, originally from Porto Alegre, Brazil, now in Austin, Texas, representing New Wave Jiu-Jitsu. He's got a 4-0 record here at Who's Number One? 4-0 in Nogi. One loss to Victor Hugo, but how will he match up with Kanan Duarte tonight is the big question.
That is an exceptional question, but you know what we're going to do? I can promise you that we're going to see a different version of Meregali in Nogi than we saw before. Somebody that he does what he's practicing in the heat of the moment, so it'll be interesting to see what his Nogi game looks like now.
And out of the red corner, training out of San Diego, California, representing Atos, Kanan Duarte.
Kanan Duarte, you talk about an accomplished grappler, ADCC champion, IBJJF world champion, but he's looking to get a Who's Number One championship belt. Meregali's in his way, Sean Williams.
Yeah, you're going to talk about pressure. We're going to see really if Meregali can withstand the pressure that Duarte's going to put on him. So,
all right, let's take a look at this heavyweight tail of the tape, the final match of the evening. Nicholas Meregali, 29 years old, 6'2", weighed in at 230 pounds. Kanan Duarte, 25 years old, 6 foot, weighed in also at 230 pounds. This is rank number 7 versus 2 for All the Glory, one of the most anticipated matches in Nogi history. Let's go.
Ready, fight!
I think we're going to see early on the wrestling and what Meregali. I think what's going to fare well potentially for him is the use of how he uses judo to clear out the wrestling. So we'll see how that goes for him.
You see the swatting collar ties, shades of Andre Galvão. In ADCC championship matches. These competitors are 2-2 against each other. Of course, those are with the gi. This is the first time they've ever competed no gi. They've had some online rivalries, some war of words over the last year or so, and kind of with a nice little arm drag to the back of Tempa. Meregali just like raises an eyebrow like that was nothing.
His feints look really good to Kanan's. And so, yeah, see that feint? I think he's going to shoot if he shoots a blast double, I think he's going to actually land it. Now, if this happens, I would suspect that Meregali will turn and try to Uchimata, but that foot sweep that he's using too is something that he's used really well in ADCC. He's used that foot sweep to set up other things.
And you talk about training rooms. These are two of the best training rooms in the world in jiu-jitsu and grappling. You know, you got Meregali, he's got John Danaher, head coach, Gordon Ryan as his teammate, Giancarlo Bodoni, you got Big Dan Luke, and Kanan Duarte, Andre Galvão, you got Lucas Barboza, you got a whole, Felipe Pena, you got a whole whack of guys there at Atos Jiu-Jitsu, and Kanan is in on that single leg. Don't be surprised to see Meregali with that judo-type counter from the standing position. You know, he's been working with Satoshi Ishii a lot at New Wave, but kind of takes him down with that single leg.
That was actually, he did the right thing there, in my opinion, is just to go down with that. Any type of turning at that point, turning your back would have been bad news. So kind of with that blast double single leg.
Kanan Duarte on top in that knee cut position. And Meregali said, you know, no matter, because even there's no grips, he's going to use those frames. He's going to use his shields to defend. Kanan sitting back on an ankle. Meregali said he is not afraid of the ankle attacks or the leg attacks from Kanan Duarte. And Kanan looks like he really wants to take that leg home.
Yeah, he gave it a go, but now he's in 50-50, and he's got to be very careful here. Yeah, Meregali's cleared his legs out.
So first submission attempt and first counter by Kanan and Meregali. Meregali was able to escape that leg attack and trying to smash those knees, looking for that folding pass position possibly.
Yeah, Kanan can try to lift and get in on underneath that leg, sort of an inside Sankaku position, but I don't know if you want Meregali. Yeah, this is some wrestle up here. It's a good idea. I think it's a good idea to get back on your feet for Kanan. Yeah, this is right here is what Meregali does so good. Gets on the head, does these foot sweeps, and it tries to just wear you down.
And, you know, you talk about Meregali, he is one of the greatest gi fighters in the world right now. You know, double gold champion. Kanan Duarte, also one of the greatest gi fighters in the sport right now. They're actually going to be fighting in the IBJJF Absolute coming up, you know, in the same division, I should say. Coming up real soon. We've got a whole whack of events coming up on FloGrappling. AIGA, one of the greatest new professional team events, will be making its debut on FloGrappling real soon. It's a team-based competition based in Kazakhstan. Team Adolfo is going to be there against the Kazakh grapplers. We have the IBJJF Absolute. We got BJJ Stars coming up. Just a whole ton of awesome jiu-jitsu and grappling. Of course, we got the ADCC trials all over the world coming up. The IBJJF Crown. Once again, FloGrappling, your undisputed place for all things jiu-jitsu and grappling. Dante Leon, who actually fought earlier, will be in that AIGA event in Team Modolfo, so look for him to make his debut on AIGA. Back to the action now. A lot of wrestling attempts here.
And he's on the head. And, you know, I've said this in the past before, but you gotta deal with collar ties well, especially if it's a long match and you're going to play on the feet for a lot. And right now, when you watch, when Meregali ties on the head, Kanan's really just ducking his head down and shucking him off. And that's not really, now he's doing better about beating Meregali to the ties. He's beating him to the ties now, which is different than what was just happening there. There, watch now. See how Kanan isn't really having a great answer that time. He did an overtime, but he's not dealing with the collar ties as efficiently. There he pummeled in, is doing much better than just ducking his head and pushing now. The same for Meregali. That kind of pushing away is tiring. You got another big human on your neck.
Kanan is fainted about 945 times, but it's getting Meregali's attention. It's causing him to be cautious in that position.
Yeah, he has a good feint. He's getting Meregali to bite, and now there it is, a little blast double. But I think he needs to have Meregali step to him a little bit and then go. So back step, level change. When he steps forward, you can go.
One of the most impressive wins we saw with Kanan Duarte was his match against Rodolfo Vieira, who's #1.
Yeah.
He was able to get that slide by, get to the back, and got the choke. Referee calling for some action on both athletes. Kanan says, let's go. Yeah, Meregali, very impressed at Meregali. The man is an attack of his own. Picks up the single leg of Kanan Duarte. Does Nicholas Meregali. I was mentioning how impressed I am with his transition to the no-gi game. Getting 2 medals at ADCC his first time out. But Kanan Duarte's been at ADCC. He's been at the highest level no-gi. He's won it all. So this a little bit different than we thought it would play out, but a lot more standing for sure.
Yeah, and it's
Kanan Duarte representing Atos Jiu-Jitsu out of San Diego. He's got a 3-1 who's number 1 record. 2-time ADCC champion. Won the IBJJF World Championships, Kasai Grand Prix, and Spider Invitational. Meregali representing New Wave, picking up that single leg again.
Yeah, another single.
Multiple-time black belt world champion. Grand Prix in the BJJ Stars Championship as well. ADCC medalist. You don't get better than Meregali and Kanan Duarte. This truly is the battle for who's number 1.
Yeah, that was a nice snap down there by Kanan. There's another single attempt. You can strip that wrist grip there.
Kind of pushing that head and trying to strip that grip, as you mentioned. Meregali.
Nice.
Oh, it's a nice takedown attempt by Meregali.
Just too far away to control off the landing, but there's the answer, because he needed an answer to that defense.
Seven minutes, 15 seconds left. Meregali is starting to pick up the takedown attempt pace.
Yeah. I think it should have went right there. That was good timing from Kanan. He's got him lulled into just kind of walking in, standing up straight. Those blast uppers are nasty when that happens. If you get someone relaxing and just walking right to you.
And Meregali, he said it yesterday, he's being very cautious and being very selective of his shots, out of his pickups, because he knows that Kanan has a very, very strong guillotine. So Meregali's got to be very precise in his takedown attempts.
Another single attempt.
Kind of slides right out. There it is again. Meregali getting more aggressive with those single leg pickups.
We'll try this foot sweep one more time. Kanan's got to be careful here of not getting too passive. He's gonna. Meregali is constantly on that single. Been a while since we've seen Kanan go for his a takedown of his own here.
Again, nice pickup from the single leg. Meregali's confidence in that pickup is just rising and rising. Looking to trip Kanan just not able to peel off the grips of Meregali. Oh, there it is. Kind of trying to shut that head down.
Judges favor.
Interesting to see who our judges favor.
Blue.
Oh, it's even. One each. Meregali and Kanan. Now Meregali threatening a little front headlock.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, he's not been too successful at it, but he's the one pushing right now. He's got the singles. Kanan needs to start to shoot, or at least make some attempts, I believe.
Four minutes, 20 seconds left in this match. If Nicholas Meregali defeats Kanan, I mean, he truly is one of the greatest jiu-jitsu competitors in our time. He's, demonstrated in the gi that he is the best of the best. And to defeat Kanan Duarte here at Who's Number One, he's showing the world that he is one of the most complete jiu-jitsu fighters, in both aspects of grappling, gi and no gi. He can do it all. He can play guard, he can take you down, he can get to your back, and he can finish you. But do not count Kanan Duarte out.
No, absolutely
not.
He
is a machine.
And
he's got the accolades, he's got the experience, but can he pull the trigger? Meregali gets to the back of Kanan Duarte, takes Kanan down. He's partially on the back there, Sean Williams.
Yeah, he's going to come up. Oh, he's got to watch the leg when he comes up. He's going to come up into sort of a 50-50 position here. So Meregali's got to watch his leg, get his knee to the mat, or push that knee free and push Kanan's knee down. And what Kanan has to watch is that he's not to get smashed right here, because it's looking like if he gets his hips to the mat, it's going to be smashed right now. Kanan, he's got an he's looking to get the underhook and the body lock. He's going to sprawl that left leg back. Should take that head arm right there, Meregali, instead of staying under that there. Now he's getting deep. Now it's stuck. He's past the guard.
Wow. Amazing passing display, precision passing, controlled those hips, now folding the legs, and just dominating. And this is where Meregali just wears you down. He is a big man, and Kanan Duarte is in a lot of trouble right now.
He's going to mount. Yep, he's not going to let Kanan out of this.
Wow.
He's going to mount, look for Katagatami or an arm. He's going to hit Katagatami here. He's going to lower his shoulder. That's it. That's it.
Nicholas Meregali has submitted Kanan Duarte here at Who's Number One. Oh my gosh. What a performance by Meregali. He truly is one of the greatest in the sports right now. Unbelievable. Who would have guessed he would have submitted Kanan Duarte from the mount position? What a match. We see the standing exchange at the end there. Gets Kanan down, gets to the back. Kanan tried to suck up that leg. Meregali used that to pass, got to the mount, got to the head and arm. Very similar to Fionn Davies, but was able to finish it here and gets this submission. Wow, what a performance.
Yeah, amazing.
And your winner is, by submission, Nicholas Meregali.
There you have it, Nicholas Meregali. Huge win here at Who's Number One over Kanan Duarte.
He did just a brilliant job of creating that pressure that just was essentially just too much for Kanan to handle.
Yeah. We did not expect to see a submission like that. We knew it was going to be an amazing match. It lived up to the hype. It was truly one of the best matches of the night.